Hi everyone, today we are going to start our new chapter, that is the chapter number 9, that's name is the reproduction in the animals. In the previous chapter we had seen the reproduction in the plants, and today we are going to a very special topic because it is belong to our whole body system and the human beings. So today we are going to see the reproduction in the animals. Children, reproduction, by the name we come to know, re means again, production it means the produce, it means the make. So reproduction, again the make, that is called the reproduction. Now let us see what is the definition of the reproduction. So the process of the reproduction in the plants, reproduce is the essential for the contents. So many things, means we get the young ones, new young ones, it is the reproduction. Now we see the sperm, the testes produce the male gametes, it is called the sperm. Now let us we talk about the ova, ova it's called the female gametes, called the ova. So here we had seen the reproduction in the especially the animals, how it is occur. Now further what we have today's content, let us see further. Hi again, now we see the reproduction. What is the definition, specific definition of the reproduction? Reproduction, it is the biological process in that we get the new baby that's born. So here we are going to see the reproduction. Reproduction is the biological process by which new individual organism are the produced. And look at this diagram. It is mentioned, try to match each, there is the photograph with the main types of the reproduction. So here we talk about the reproduction, asexual and the sexual. Asexual, it means the gametation, and asexual it is divided into the fragmentation, and sexual, unisexual and the hermaphrodites. Now further here is the given the various type of the examples of the sexual and the asexual reproduction, that is it is the duck, it is the starfish, it is the coral, it is the snail. So it is the example of the reproduction, it is divided into the sexual and the asexual. So today we are going, it was the introduction, now we see what we have today. So let us proceed. We see the content, modes of the reproduction, first, second sexual reproduction, third the male reproductive organs, next the female reproductive organs, next is the fertilization, next is the development of the embryo, viviparous and the oviparous animal, young ones to adults, metamorphosis, asexual reproduction, budding in hydra, binary fission in amoeba. So let us see what is this, what is the specific characteristics of it, we see ahead. So first we see the modes of the reproduction. What is the modes of the reproduction? Here we are, can you watch now this? This is the modes of reproduction. First the asexual reproduction, how it is divided, it is the sexual reproduction, how it is the divided. It is vegetative propagation first, second is the budding, third is the fermentation, fourth is the spore formation. Now here we see the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, what is the first one is the pollination, second is the fertilization, third is the fruits and the seed formation, and fourth is the seed dispersal. It is called the sexual reproduction, it is divided into asexual reproduction. So first we see the reproduction. What is the reproduction? Is the production of new individuals from their parents. The vegetative parts of the plant are the roots, stems and the leaves. The reproductive parts of the plants are the flower, and in plants there are the two main type of the reproductive part, that is they are the asexual reproduction and the sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, in asexual reproduction new plants are produced without the help of the seeds. Sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, new plants are produced from seeds. So, it is divided into two, asexual and the sexual. Now, further see the modes of the reproduction. What is the modes? Mode of reproduction determine the genetic constitute of the crop plants, that is whether the plants are normally homogeneous or the heterogeneous. A knowledge of the mode of reproduction of crop plants is also important for making artificial hybrids. Production of hybrids between diverse and desirable parents, it means the whatever we want, that is the basis for almost all the modern breeding programs. The modes of reproduction in crop plants may be broadly grouped. It is divided into groups, into two categories, asexual and the sexual. So, here we see what is that, how it is divided, on the which basis it is the divided. Let us we see the first, sexual reproduction. What is the sexual reproduction? If you were told define the sexual reproduction, what would you say? Very simple, we say sexual reproduction is the formation of offspring from the fusion of the gametes. Fusion is called the fertilization. Do you remember what process made these sex cells are the gametes? Of course, it is the meiosis. It is the process is called the meiosis. Now, further we see the what is the sexual reproduction, how it is divided. It is gametes from the mom, it is gametes from the dad, and it is the once it meet, it is fused, once it is fused, it is zygote. Definition: involve the fusion of two separate parent cells. Offspring produced by sexual reproduction inherited some of their genetic information from each parent. One gamete is donated from each parent. When two gametes fuse, a zygote is formed. Offspring is genetically different from the parents. Offspring, it means the baby, that is different from their original parents. So, here we see it is the sexual reproduction. Now, further we see the sexual reproduction. What is the specific characteristics of it? So, first we see the sexual reproduction requires two organisms. How many? Two. Each organism has specialized sex cells called the gametes. Animals have sperm, means male, and the ovum means the female. Plants have pollen, means sperm, and ovum means egg. Sexual reproduction happens when the two sex cells fuse together, means fusion, to create a new and genetically different offspring. It is specific characteristics of the sexual reproduction. Now, further we see the what is the reproductive organ of the male, then the female. First, we are going to discuss the male reproductive organ. First, consists of a number sex organ that are a part of the human reproductive process. Produce, stores and release the male gametes are the sperm. Gametes is a sex cell. It is called the male reproductive system. Now, further we see the sperm. What is the sperm? what is the diagram of the sperm? It is the shape, it is called the head, it is the neck, middle piece of the tail, it is nucleus, it is acrosome, it is the plasma membrane, it is principal piece of the tail, it is the end piece of the tail. So, it is a sperm, it is also a part of the male reproductive system. Now, let us see ahead about the female reproductive system. Female reproductive system. The external organ of the female reproductive system include the mons, pubis, labia, majora, labia minora, vestibule, and there is the perineum and the Bartholin's glands. As a group, this structure that surround the openings of the urethra and the vagina compose the vulva, from the Latin word meaning the covering. It is means it is the cover the vagina. Now further we see what is the fertilization. Fertilization, it means the male and female gametes fuse. Male and female gametes fuse. It is called the fertilization. Fertilization whence form a zygote with the male and female. It is called the fertilization. A cell that is the result of fertilization, it will divide by the mitosis to form an embryo, zygote. Now, an organism in its early stage of the development, especially before it has reached a distinctively recognizable form, it is the embryo. So, here we had seen one by one what is the fertilization, what is the zygote, what is the embryo. Now, further we are going to see the fertilization. Fertilization means fusion of egg and sperm. Self-fertilized fusion of sperm and egg from the same plant. Cross fertilization, fusion of egg and sperm from two different plants, produce hybrids, F1 first generation, F2 second generation. Cross fertilization. Cross fertilization, what is the cross fertilization? It is shown in this picture by the flower how it had. Now further we discuss about it. Now we proceed towards the, it is the picture fertilization, it is the ovum and it is the zygote and it is fusing nuclei. This is the fusing nuclei. Now let us see further. Double fertilization. Double fertilization. Double fertilization is a complex mechanism of the fertilization in the flowering plants and angiosperm. Double fertilization is joining of female gametophyte with the two male gametes. Now here shown in this picture, what is this double fertilization? Endosperm, third N, zygote 2N. One sperm nucleus unites with the egg to form zygote and the other fuse with the two polar nuclei to form endosperm. It is the nutrient tissue. It is called the fertilization. It is called the fertilization. Now further we see the early embryonic development. What is the early embryonic development? Here is the cleavage. It is a process, is the first major phase of the embryonic development. It is the rapid succession, means division of the cell. It is the meiotic and it creates a multicellular embryo from the zygote, no growth stage. It is morula, solid ball of the cell. Blastula, it is also the phase, single layer of cells surrounding a fluid filled cavity called the blastocell. Zygote, it is divided into two cells after that 4 cells, after that 8 cells, after that many cells. Solid ball blastula and cross section of the blastula. It is the hollow ball blastula. It is the hollow ball. It is the solid ball. Many cells. It is the solid balls. So it had the early embryonic development. Now further we see the reproduction. Vivipore and the ovipore animal reproduction. Ovipore, what do you mean the ovipore? Ovipore animal keep their eggs inside the body until the embryo fully developed in the hatches. Now vivipore animals have eggs with the very little yolk. Eat it all because the female nourishes the embryo internally for a long period, for a long time, and the young are born alive, don't hatch, such as we the human being. Also the vivipore and ovipore, here is the hatches the egg. It is called the oviparous. Now further we see the difference between ovipore and the vivipore. Ovipore, here is the given various type of the animals, and that is the ovipore also. It is also the fetus, embryo. It is for the human beings and it is for the animals. Now further we see the young ones to the adults. Young ones to the adult, it is the process by which metamorphosis. It is the process metamorphosis. Why it is called metamorphosis? Because once we see here the adult, then it is turn, change, and this tadpole, and it is the eggs. So how children it is started? When the eggs turn into the tadpole, tadpole turn into the small frog, then the adult frog, and this all the cycles was go, it is called the process of the metamorphosis. It means, simple words we see, it is the development of the frog. Now further we see the metamorphosis. What is the metamorphosis? Natural ultimate transform, that is tree, then few cocoons, and it is a butterfly. So this process also holding that you had seen in the class 7th also. Now further we see complete metamorphosis, incomplete metamorphosis. Complete metamorphosis: egg, larva, pupa, adult, egg, nymph, and that is the adult. Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. Now we see, in the beginning we had seen the sexual reproduction. Now we talk about the asexual reproduction. Is the simplest form of reproduction occur in plants, simple animals, bacteria, and the protist. Require one parent. Is more reliable than sexual reproduction. Doesn't allow for any time of the genetic variation. Now further we see the asexual reproduction in the animals. In the further we had seen different type of the animals. Now we see the different type of the animals, such as the budding of the hydra. It is growth of the bird, then bird develop mouth and the tentacle. It is the dendrite, it is called the tentacle, and birds detach from parent and become the independent. Now it is the budding in the hydra. It is the called the budding. How it is started? It is start from here, thence, and then we get the new born ready this hydra. Now further we see the binary fission in the amoeba. Now here we had seen the hydra, now binary fission of the amoeba. Cell replicates its DNA, cell wall, cytoplasmic membrane, and replicated DNA. In the cytoplasmic membrane elongates, separating DNA molecules, cross-wall form membrane, and it is further the cross-wall form of the completely daughter cells. So, this is the binary fission in the amoeba. It is divided into one, it is into the two by the various type of the process. Now, further we see the asexual reproduction and the sexual reproduction. What is the difference? Involve one parent only, sexual involve two organisms, it means the two parents. Gametes are not produced, gametes are produced by the organism. Offspring are genetically identical to the parent, offspring show the genetic variation. The cell division are only meiotic, gametes are produced by the meiotic, and the zygote development by the meiotic division. Large number of plants are produced in the very short time, comparatively the number produced is less. So, this was the chapter that is the reproduction in the animals. Thank you for watching.